Hello, teachers. Good morning. How are you? My name is Anaid Bolaños, and I'm one of Richmond's academic consultant. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here and for participating in this webinar. Okay, so right now you can see my camera, and also you're in mute right now. Your microphones are muted, and this is because we don't want any outdoor noises to filter into this transmission, because we don't want, if something is happening in your surroundings or in your house, in your home, wherever it is that you are at, those additional sounds that are in your environment or your ambience will actually filter into this transmission. So that's why you're going to be muted. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started with this session. I will turn off the camera, but I will be sharing my screen, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Hope you enjoy this webinar. Okay, so this is Compass, above and beyond the Compass platform. And just to begin with, I'm going to start by showing you this, the toolbar. The toolbar, you most likely have it on your right side of your screen. And the main buttons that you should focus are this one, the first one, which is a microphone. Like I said, you guys are right now muted. So that's the purpose, so that we don't have any outside sounds filtering into this transmission. The second arrow, it's pointing to a little hand. That button is called raise hand. And of course, the purpose is if you have a question or if you want to call out my attention for any reason, maybe I'm going a little too fast or you're having any troubles with the transmission, with the webinar, let me know, you can raise your hand. And the third one, it's this arrow. You have a box, and this is where this is how we can communicate. You can type in any questions or suggestions. You can even write there maybe your email if you want us to send you maybe information about future webinars. And also if you want to see the webinars that we had only one this morning. So in case you want to go over that and visit our different channels that we have, just please feel free to write and type in your question, okay? So with that said, now that I explained this to you, I am in Mexico City. Feel free to right now type in and let me know where are you from? Where are you right now? Okay, I'm gonna be reading your messages and your responses actually. Okay, hello, thank you from Mexico City, Monterrey, Toluca. I see people from Bolivia. Wow. Hello, everybody. Honduras, Quito, Ecuador, Colombia, Sonora, Hermosillo. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for visiting. All right, we have a diverse group. Okay, well, thank you so much. And this is also a test to make sure that everything is okay with the platform, and we're gonna go ahead now and get started, okay? So I'm gonna go over the main objectives of this webinar. The idea is that you guys assign homework, that we explore the Compass platform and the new features that we have. I don't know if you have seen some changes. So that's the main idea, that we know how to use them. And maybe you already use them. Some of you might already use the platform and have already assigned homework before, but we want to make sure that you know how to expand those the homework and those activities. And we're going to provide you with additional ideas that you can use with these accessories that we have in the platform. Especially nowadays, it's a necessity because of what is going on right now, that we are in lockdown. Okay, so that's the whole idea in here. It's not really a review about the Compass platform. However, if you have a question, again, feel free to ask and we're gonna guide you. But the idea is that to provide you with additional information, okay? So let's get started. And we're going to begin by sharing sharing each other's ideas here. Also, if you have an idea or something else that you have tried with the Compass platform, again, feel free to type in and participate, because we want to build a community of us teachers, of us sharing ideas with the rest of us, okay? So now, the first idea that I want to share with you, or things that you can implement in the platform, are reflection questions, okay? Remember, Compass, it's all about inquiry-based learning. It's all about reflecting. It's all about inquiring. It's all about going beyond. It's thinking. It's taking the lesson further. It's all about student-centered learning, and that it's not only the question that you give them or the big question, but it's to go a little bit even more. It's to go deeper, okay? So on your toolbar, you're gonna find a handout, and I'm gonna share it right now with you. I'm gonna show you. It's a Word document, and these are examples of different reflection questions that you can implement with your students. They are questions that you can use maybe for your projects, because right now the project, if you have the language log, the project has to be they have to create the project at home, okay? So we want to make sure that they are inquiring and using the pertinent information and the most proper information, and that they are actually comprehending. So there are some questions that pertain to the project, like this one. The first one says, what were some of the most interesting discoveries I made while working on this project? What about the problem, about myself, about others, okay? You can connect this to the topic. Maybe you want to scaffold the question if it's too long and you have little ones. Maybe you're a first grade teacher. So of course it will be maybe something that is very, very long, okay? So you have different questions also, maybe for the question, to understand the topic, for the project. Maybe there are questions that you can use maybe at the beginning, just to do a little brainstorm, okay? Or for them to inference, to make predictions. There are questions that you could use in the middle. Remember, also on language log, and at the middle of the topic, it's on lesson 6. You go back to the big question and you reflect. So these are some other questions that you can implement on your lesson, so that you can kind of assess your students' learning, okay? And there are some questions that you can implement at the end of the lesson, okay? Now, something else that you can do, maybe just for to check on your students, to expand writing. These questions, you can send them to them through the chat, or maybe you can actually send the Word document through the drive, and then they can just answer the question and respond to you, okay? So this is just a plethora of questions that you can use and give them a different, it's not only the ideas that I'm giving you right now, but if you can always modify, remember, feel free to do that. And you can always send that to your students. They can respond, and you can make modifications as you see it most beneficial for them, okay? So I'm gonna show you right now here on the platform, and I have it right here, okay? So this is your chat, okay? So now on your chat, okay, you can post maybe one of the questions, okay? And right now I'm assigned as a 3rd grade teacher, okay? And in here, this is my 3rd grade. If you have not, I see and I read on some of on the questions that some of you have not used the chat. So I'm gonna show you, make a demonstration how to use it, okay? So you have the 3rd grade. You have here, these are your students. Ideally, you will only have 5, 6 students, but I know you have more, but remember, this is a demo, okay? So you can select your question, and maybe it's going to be about the project. Okay, so you can just copy or type in however you feel better, and then you paste in here your question, and then it's going to be to your 3rd grade class, and then you can submit it. Okay, and your students will be responding, and this is kind of like a WhatsApp chat, okay? So you can send questions or messages, even it's for messages. Remember, this is for educational purposes, and it's also important that we show our students, or teach our students, that technology is a great tool, but in this case, it's only for educational purposes. But I want to associate and make a metaphor, and this is kind of like the WhatsApp, okay? You can send a group message if you have a group with your friends, or maybe your brother and sister, your family, or you can send individual messages. Let's say I want to send just a message for Carly, because Carly, I know I need to scaffold. Maybe she's a student from a new school, and she's a fairly newcomer. She's still learning English, so I might have to scaffold that question. So I'm going to send here just that question for Carly, okay? So this is just a little bit an idea that I want to give you and share with you about using the Compass platform, okay? So that's the first one, the reflection questions, okay? The next, this is an idea that we have. It's called the challenge, okay? Compass, it's all about taking our students further to make sure that they develop critical thinking, right? And making sure that they also develop 21st century skills. So we want to include this, that it's called the challenge, okay? And what's the challenge and the purpose, and what does it entitle? Okay, for a challenge, for you to create a challenge, you need to keep in mind that you want to have a time frame, a specific time frame, okay? You want it's something that it's fun, but at the same time, well, it's challenging, okay? So with the time frame, this is what we're gonna, these are the suggestions that we have. And the first one, it's word scramble. Okay, you will let your students know. Remember, we have to set a time frame, so you will let your students know, okay, probably at 1:30 I will be posting the challenge. So everybody has to be attentive, everybody has to pay attention, because I will only be giving you 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Depends, of course, the complexity of the challenge. Maybe you want to send only one word, 2 words that they have to unscramble. It could be from different categories. Right now, I'm showing you 2 different ones because we also want to connect with the students' interest and likes, okay? So I put one that it's about sports. I put one as an example that it's also about fruits, but you can do colors, nouns, irregular verbs, numbers, or just the vocabulary words that you have on Compass. You want to send them, maybe you send them 2, 4, 5 words. You can send them also through the chat, the same way that I posted right now the reflection questions. So you send the challenge, but that one, like I said, they have to respond to you immediately. Give them a time frame, 10 minutes. So at 1:30 I posted, and by 1:40, that's it. I will no longer accept any more answers. And then you can have, or you can praise winners, okay? Or maybe you can send them several words. Maybe you send them 5 or 6 words, and whomever unscrambles the words, the most number of words. So maybe Eric unscrambled the 6, and maybe Leonardo unscrambled 5, and then you have Mari who unscrambled only 4 words. So you can have maybe first, second, and third place, okay? And you can prize them, I'm sorry, prize them. Okay, I'm reading your comments. If it should be graded, the challenge, this is up to you. Like I said, if you want to give them a grade, this will be another way for you to have a fun activity and maybe assess your students' vocabulary comprehension. So if you want to assign this as a grade, it will be okay. This is up to you. But like I said, this is something that they're going to do in a very short amount of time. So think about also how can you scaffold these and adapt it to your students, because you might have those students that are still learning, that are not there yet. So they will not be able maybe to finish the challenge within those 10 minutes, okay? So if you want to maybe provide a grade for your students, you might want to actually maybe give them a little bit more of time, okay? Okay, so now the next suggestion that we have are riddles. Okay, these are always very fun. In Spanish, we have a lot of riddles, but there's also a lot of riddles in English. Okay, so you can just send the question of the riddle. Okay, I don't know this one. What has 2 hands and a face but no arms and legs? And they will just have to respond. The simple response will be clock. Okay, because they're trying to guess the riddle. Okay, and another one that actually my students particularly loved when I used to play with them, it's hangman. Okay, hangman, it's also very fun. And in here, you will have to modify, because we know you cannot play hangman like we usually do, like we typically do, because with hangman, you write the sentence or the word and you give them clues, or maybe you only give them the spaces, okay? And you know that it's maybe a 6-letter word. But in here, remember, we're doing virtually or digitally. So you will just give them the spaces, and they will have also 5, 10 minutes to complete or fill in the sentence or guess. And you can also give them maybe 3 attempts or 2 opportunities. This is up to you as well. So what it will look like, I'm going to post it right now here. So this is something maybe that you can write on the chat. So you will put the phrase, right? Actually, right now, this is the phrase, and you can give them the spaces. I don't know if you can guess right now what the word is, what the phrase, I'm sorry, is. The challenge, correct. So in here, this is just a fun way. And you see, we were able to play right now hangman, and we didn't have to, actually, you guys didn't have to be calling out letters, H, and I'm telling you, no, T, no, there's no T, okay? Because again, right now we need to modify because of how we are doing it, or in a virtual way. We're conducting education in a virtual way, okay? So this is just a quick example, okay? So I'm gonna show you how you can do it on the, on the platform, just real quick here. Like I said, also on the chat. And this will be also for my whole class. And we're gonna use the example right now that I have. Okay, and this is what you can send them. Of course, you can give the instructions. Hello, students, are you ready for today's challenge? It's a phrase, or it's a sentence, or and maybe you can give them clues as well. It could be kind of like a mix of a riddle and hangman. Okay, so you will just send it to your students, and they have 10 minutes to respond for that. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. Let me see if you have any more questions. About the chat. Okay, you need to make sure that your students are enrolled in the platform. If it's only the teachers, since there are no students, you will only see yourself and the administrator in your chat. Okay, so you need to make sure that your students are uploaded and registered in the platform. Okay, and then I hear, what else? Yes, no, there's no, someone is asking if there's, if the platform is free. Yes, the platform is free. It's actually included with your Compass books. Okay, so now we're gonna continue. The next challenge or ideas that we're going to provide you are a little bit more tricky, I guess, but this is maybe for higher levels, maybe for 6th grade, 5th grade. This is word search and crossword puzzles, okay? Now, in here, the idea, maybe you only want to provide your students with the word search, just this square, just this box, and not the actual words, okay? And see if how many words they can find, and you will just give them the category. For instance, you are gonna tell them, you're going to find, and in the word search right here in this box, there's 10 colors. Try to find 10 colors, okay? And you send that through the drive, okay? You submit it, they get it, and they also respond to you through the chat, okay? So, and also with a crossword puzzle, maybe you can color code it. Right now, this one is color coded, and then they have to come up with a word, because maybe there's an acronym. All this, they have to solve it, and then all these colors are going to form a word, and they have to give you the final word or the final sentence. Okay, and again, this is going to be, I'm going to show you, because some of you are asking me about the drive, where is it, and how can you upload documents. Okay, so I'm going to show you right now. Okay, let me go back to the platform. Okay, so right now, right here, I'm sorry, what it says, my resources. If you're familiar with that area, in here you can see all your different resources, your tests, your audios, the videos, etc. But in here you have a drive. The drive says my files. Okay, here on my files, you can upload pictures, documents, PowerPoints, videos, small videos or short videos. You can upload any type of document, PDF, etc. Okay, PGs and also MP4s. Okay, MP3 as well. So you can upload different types of files. If you can see here, I have a plethora in different files. So I have pictures, I have Word documents, I have PowerPoints, etc. Okay, so this is your drive. You have unlimited capacity, because I know somebody was asking right now if what was the capacity. It's unlimited, okay? And the way that you can upload this, okay, and this is even a drive. It's gonna help you. You don't have to carry a thumb drive anymore. This is gonna help you, okay? So you just select the file that you want to upload. Let's say you have a crossword puzzle and I already downloaded into my computer. Okay, so I'm gonna look for it. So I have it right here. Let's pretend it's also the reflection questions. Right here, I select it and I just drag it. Okay, and there you go. It's right there, right here. And you have to share it. It's very, very important that you share it. If you don't share it, your students will not receive it. Right now, this is only on your drive. Think about it on your phone. You have your cell phone, you uploaded a picture, but if you want to share it with somebody else, if it's through WhatsApp or Facebook, you need to press share. So we're going to do the same in here. You always go to the I. The I is for more information. And what you can do here, you can download, you can create a QR code, you can share the document, you can delete it or copy, okay? So if you share, you click in here, you select, and then if you have two classes, let's say you're a teacher for 2nd grade and 3rd grade, you can select both of your classes, or you can just select it, select it and share it within your class. So my class right now, it's 3rd A, so I select it and it's right here. Okay, so, and just make sure you close it from this top box, the top X, not this little one, because if you, that will be removed. If you see, I put my cursor right there and it tells me that it's removing. I don't want to remove it. I just want to close it from here. Okay, and your students will receive it, will receive the document, they open it, and they can just respond to you through the chat again. Okay, right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Okay, the next suggestion, recording. Okay, now recording, this is very, very important. English, it's all about practice. English language learning requires a lot of repetition. Okay, so it's important that our students also, if we feel more confident, that they feel secure when they speak English. Okay, we all know that usually we provide our students with a lot of information. They have a lot of input, but when they have to produce, in this case, either writing or reading, speaking, writing and speaking, that's where they paralyze. We know they understand. We know that they know what we are talking about, but when they have to speak, read, or write, that's when they paralyze, okay? So I think recording, it's a good option for them to lose a little bit of fear. And it's also a good way to connect what they are doing right now. It's a good way to expose them to technology again. Some of us, we don't really like technology, but let's think about it as an ally. And why? Because we want to make sure that we adapt and connect their real world, which is surrounded by technology, with what they are going through right now, okay? And with their education experience. So recording, and I put here both either voice recording or actual video recording, okay? How can you do this? How can you share? Well, I'm gonna show you right now, okay? And the suggestions here are for them to record themselves, maybe reading a story, presenting their projects, reading a text that they wrote, and also through the writing log. This is more feasible, it will be more feasible if they do it through the writing log, okay? They have access, remember the writing log, it's not interactive. However, the last page where they present their final text, that's where they can record themselves, and I'm gonna show it to you right now, and they post it on the blog. And also on the blog, you have other activities that you can do, okay? So maybe you can open this forum, this dashboard, and tell your students, it's okay, record yourselves doing reading the writing, the first page that they show you on the writing log. Have them record themselves either just by voice or physically, and they can submit that to you, okay? Again, the idea is for them to lose fear, and this is another way for you to assess them. Okay, sometimes it's hard for us to assess speaking. Sometimes it's hard for us to assess pronunciation. So this is a good way, and maybe again, it's also for them to know that there's an audience, but for them also a good opportunity to lose fear, okay? So I'm gonna show you here on the platform how you can do this on the writing log. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Let me close this window. Okay, so you have here your writing log. You have also access through the blog, but I will not elaborate today on the blog because we will have a webinar with Magdalena Tiburcio. It will be on Thursday, and it will be specifically about the writing blog. Okay, I'm seeing here, I'm reading your comments and messages that you're excited, that you don't know how to use the blog. Okay, it's going to be a wonderful webinar, trust me, I suggest, because it will complement completely what you are seeing here. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my writing log. Okay, right now, most likely you should be on topic 6 or 7. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to topic 7. Alrighty, so this is what I was telling you. This text, maybe if you want to assess them, to see also fluency, this is the text that they can read. They can record themselves reading this text, okay? And then, of course, they go through the whole process, they elaborate it. Remember, they cannot type in here. But on the last page, right here, this is where they can post, okay? Somebody was posting here. Somebody wrote something here. Okay, let me delete it. There it is. Okay. In here, this is where they will actually type in. Okay, and they can type it. But again, another fun way to do it, because maybe they already did or wrote on their books, on their writing logs. Okay, so you want them to record themselves, or maybe in here they can actually type in their final text, but they can also record, and here they can share with you. It says add video or sound. Okay, this is where they can, maybe in here also they can share for you their language log project. They can present it. The parents can record them with the cell phone note. With their cell phone now, everybody has, most of the parents have access to the cell phone, so they can record themselves, record the kids, and then in here they can submit you the video, and you will receive it through the blog. Okay, so in here you just click, and this is exactly where they can get it. Okay, in here this is where they will post. Let's pretend the text, because remember this one, it says it's a poster. Okay, this is just an example. Something also just to keep in mind with writing, sometimes we expect them to, or teachers feel a little overwhelmed because the students will not be able to produce a long paragraph. Remember, this is practice, and we want to respect the process, because they're not going to be able to write right now 300 words or 5 paragraphs, okay? Give them some time. They might be able to write a few sentences, so it's okay. But again, this is where they will type in. They can in here record themselves as well, either voice or the voice, or also the video, and they can save it. They will save it. So I'm saving it. And then in here, the second one, it says Compass block. This is where they will submit. And right now it's asking me, it's telling me that it's going to be visible because I'm a teacher, but if your students submit it, it will let them know or give them a message that they have to, the teacher has to approve. So don't worry about it, that maybe your students will be posting that it's something that it's not proper. You will always, as a teacher, receive that part, the post, and then you will approve or not. Okay, so you just click OK. All right. Another way to use the recording or promote recording or the voice, it will be here. I'm going to go back to the main page here, Compass. It will be when you're assigning homeworks. And actually right now somebody was asking about assigning homeworks. So I'm going to demonstrate you and show you how. Okay. So this is homework. And here you will see all the homeworks that you have right now post, and that they're about to expire, that the students need to conclude or do. Okay. And then someone is okay. I'll respond to you. I'll get back to you right now, Jadira. Just give me a moment. Okay. This is where you will show all your expired homework. So this is all the homeworks. The ones that are in red are the ones that you have assigned before. Okay. So now, in order for you to assign homework, you just go to assign homework right here on the plus sign, and you will select from which log do you want to assign the homework. Remember, language and reading are not interactive, and writing just at the end. Okay, these are the ones that are interactive, but also on language you have the digital worksheets, which are also trackable and interactive. Okay, so let's say I want to assign something from homework, but it's going to be from the digital worksheets, and it's going to be from reading, and you have right here the digital worksheet. Okay, so in here they have the audio. They don't have to look for anything else. You as a teacher, you don't have to worry about sharing the audios or anything. They have complete access to all the material that they need to respond these. Okay, so we click on assign homework, and in here this is where you will type in your title of the homework. This is up to you how you want to label them. Let's say this is homework 11, topic 7. Okay. And in here you can describe, but this is where I was telling you that sometimes maybe right now it will be beneficial to use a recording button. Maybe here your instruction will be, please listen to the recording. Okay, you assign, you put the due date, and here it will appear a calendar, so you can select that the due date will expire, the link will expire at 11:59 p.m. So your students will no longer be able to submit the homework. Let's say it's 3:30, I'm sorry, March the 30th, 11:59 p.m. Once it hits 12 a.m., which will be April the 1st. Yes, no, I'm sorry, March 31st. I'm sorry, March has 31 days. Then your students will no longer be able to access the link. So if they tell you, Miss, I'm trying to access the homework, but I couldn't, that's because it was already passing the deadline. Okay. Now, in here with the record message, this is where you will record the instructions. And also this is where your students, maybe you can provide them some words of encouragement. Right now, it's very important. Also remember, as teachers, we create this bond with our students. It's not only about education, which is very important, but sometimes they need that that motivation, those words of wisdom, and also that you know that they feel that they are important. Right now, you don't want to lose that bond with your students, and let them know that, you know, they're okay, they're safe. Maybe calm them a little bit, because we don't know exactly what's going on, and maybe at home parents might be a little overwhelmed. So just try to maintain that that relationship with the kids. Okay, so in here you will click on record, and you will be able to record yourself. Hello guys, please do your homework. It's going to be the reading worksheet 1A. Don't forget to submit all your answers and click on the check mark, okay? Please, hope you have a great weekend. Listen to your parents, be good. Don't panic, everything is going to be all right. I will see you very, very soon, and have a good one. Right. There you go. So I recorded my message. I have it right here. In case you didn't like your recording, or maybe you stutter a little bit, or you got nervous, it's okay. You can delete it, and then you can do it again. Okay, you can record again your message. Okay, so once you're done, you can click here, assign homework. It's uploading my recording, and it's uploading my homework, and it's right here. Okay, so this is the one that I posted right now, homework 11, topic 7, and it's right here. I'm reading a question that it says that you recorded the message, but your students didn't see it. They have to open the link, and right here, this is the icon. They see the little microphone, and it tells them play. Maybe they are just going straight to the homework, to the link, and they are opening, but they are not in here pressing or they just read the instructions, but they're not pressing the button. So this is what they have to press it in order to listen to the teacher's message. Okay. And then they're asking me also if you can assign, if you have a homework that it has 2 or 3 activities, if you can isolate and just select one activity. No, you have to, you will have to let them know here in the instructions. Please make sure that you only answer lesson 12, page 40 from vocabulary and grammar, activity 1 and 2, and that's it. You have to specify. As of right now, you cannot isolate the activities from right here on the homework. If you assign it, it will appear the whole page. And think about it, it's like when you have the books physically, but you always give instructions to your students. You give them the directions, and they do it. Right now, I mean, if it will be the same if the book is physically, you will not be able to tear apart activity 3 because you only want to assign activity 1 and 2. You just let your students know, please only answer activity 1 and 2, and that's it. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let me look more at your questions. Okay, we're good. Very good. Very good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and continue. Okay, the Spell Blast. This is a very popular game. Teachers and students love it, okay? We have 2 different sections right here, and we have on the right side where it says let's play. In this area or section, the students can play with students, with kids or peers from their class, from the school, or from different kids around the world, okay? Just to let you know or inform you, because some of my teachers, or here in Mexico, it has happened that they tell me, you know what, the vocabulary, it's not connected to Compass. And yes, this area of Let's Play, they just have words that are developmentally age appropriate, okay? So it's according to their level. So if of course, the words or the vocabulary from level 6 or kids from 6th grade will not be the same from a student of 2nd grade, okay? But yes, it is not exactly the same vocabulary as Compass, okay? Now on this section where it says let's practice, and I'm actually gonna show you in the platform. Okay, I have it right here. This is my Spell Blast. Okay. This you can personalize. Where it says let's practice, you can assign them words from Compass. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here where it says spelling list, where it's ABC. And if I click on the first side where it says Spell Blast, I can assign my students the words from all the levels up to the level that they are at, okay? So now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so right now you have here Compass Starter, and remember I was a 3rd grade teacher, but, okay, if I move these, now this is Compass level 1, level 2, and level 3. That means that you're not only practicing, remember, this is a little bit of spiral review or spiral vocabulary learning. That means that you can go back to the vocabulary that you learned at the beginning. This is kind of like some of you, the majority of you guys, if you have Compass on elementary, on kindergarten or preschool, you have crickets. So you recycle and review the vocabulary. So this is kind of like the same. You are reviewing the vocabulary from previous levels. So the teacher from level 5 and level 6, wow, well, you will have a plethora of vocabulary that you can practice with, okay? So, but you will have to assign. So right here you have like a little person. For me, it looks like a person. It's like the head. So if you click, I'm sorry, right there. No. Okay, you can share it. There you go, because I was clicking the wrong button. Okay, so you can share it. It says topic 4. So again, it's the same process. You want to share it with your class. Okay, and it's right there. Now you share it. And you share those words with your class. And you can do the same. This one, because somebody's asking me if you can assign the spell blast right now through the homework. As of right now, no, where you can't. But what you can do is also just tell your students, I'm going to be sharing with you the words. If you don't share, the students will not be able to see anything. So this is just very, very important, okay? You let your students know. I will be, you can give them the instructions through the chat. And let them know, please, this is the, please make sure that you go to the spell blast and you go to the spell blast list and you will be doing level 3, topic 1 or topic 4, etc. Okay. All right. And then this section, this one, it says my list. This is my list as a teacher. And I can make, I can personalize. In here you can practice all the vocabulary words from all the different logs from Compass. You can input them, or also maybe you have a spelling bee contest and you have your own list of words. Okay, so in here you can just copy paste. You select, if you haven't, let's say on a Word document, you select them, you copy, and then you paste, and you have it right here on your list. Another suggestion that we have here for the spell blast, it will be for them to practice maybe numbers, cardinal numbers, also nouns, irregular verbs, phrases, conjunctions, adjectives, okay? Numbers, like maybe 45, maybe they need to 147, okay? So they have to practice, and here you can create your list personalized, okay? So you can create several number of lists on the spell blast, okay? I'm going to create one about vegetables. So you have to label your list. And now this one in here, I'm gonna start doing my list. So let's say I have, oh my God. Let me turn around and look for a, for a vegetable, because my mind just went blank. Okay, spinach. Okay, thank you, you're sharing. Spinach, avocado. I'm thinking that maybe avocado is a fruit. It's not a vegetable. Yes, spinach. Okay, celery. Cucumber, lettuce, cabbage, etc. Okay, so you have it right there. You have your words. Okay, and let me, celery, I think, no, it is with double L, yes. Okay, and now I suggest that you upload chunks or different batches of lists or words. What do I mean by these? If you upload here your whole list of spelling bee words, and let's say there are 300 words, your student will not be able to finish or stop the game until he finishes the 300 words, okay? So this is just something to keep in mind. Make sure that maybe you upload 20, 25 words and then create another list. Maybe let's say if it's vegetables, I can have vegetables, list number 1. And then I create another one of vegetables number 2, vegetables 3, or the same with numbers, and it will be maybe from 1 to 20, and then 21 to 40, and you continue like that, okay? So make sure, because remember, they're going to be playing, and if it's 300 words, the poor child will not be able to stop. And if he doesn't finish, it will count the words as wrong, okay? So it will not be fair for him or her, because he will not have a first score because he was not able to finish the game, okay? So now, once you label, once you create your words, also something important in here, if you see, I just type in my words, just the words. I didn't put any numbers in here. Number 1, spinach. Number 2, celery. Number 3, don't do that because the machine is going to read the words and it's going to read number 1, spinach. And if the student doesn't put number 1, it's he or she's going to get it wrong. So just put the words just the way I'm doing it right now. Okay, so you put okay. It's going to ask you if you want to use a generated speech or a record audio. You want to use the generated speech, you put okay. And there you go. This is my new list. Okay, again, sharing is caring. So make sure that you share. Okay, share it with your classroom, and that's it. Okay, so now in here I can close. And this is the spell blast. Okay, all right. Questions about the spell blast? Okay, yes, I'm gonna show you. Yes, you can track and you can see it. You see it right here where it says feedback. Okay, you will have to filter right now. And in here, I can see exactly in here, you can filter all the information. It says choose a class. I select my class, third A, and then I can select a user. And in here, you will have all your students. Okay, and in here, they're telling me all the words that they have misspelled. Okay, so this, you can see it by student, you can see it just by class, and you can see the words that they need some extra practice. Okay. All right. We're almost done. Okay, and now I'm going to continue with the PowerPoint. Okay. All right. The next idea, the big picture. And what's the big picture? Well, the big picture is you can select a picture, maybe from Google, maybe you as yourself enjoy photography. So you have a great picture, or maybe one of those pictures from Instagram, and then you share it to your students through the drive. Remember the same way that I told you about sharing the documents? Also, you share the picture and then they have to analyze. But maybe with the picture, you can include some of the reflection phrases. Okay, and it could be maybe describe the picture. What surprises you about this picture, or what do you like about this picture? Okay, what confuses you of a picture? Depends on the picture that you're posting to your students. Okay, or maybe if you maybe there's a picture of maybe two people, I'm sorry, I don't know, maybe showing that they're having like a little trouble or something, or that they're going through a struggle, I don't know, and then you can post something. What did you find difficult on the picture? Okay, or maybe it's blurry, maybe the picture doesn't have very good quality, and you do it on purpose because you want to, of course, have the students reflect, and from here you can start a discussion on the chat, or if you want just for them, it's just for them to develop critical thinking, to use their imagination, etc. Okay, so here the idea about the big picture. Okay, this is in Alaska, this is an aurora borealis. So here the idea, I don't know, I will ask my student, what confuses you about this picture? Or what do you like about this picture? Or what do you think is happening? Okay, who is in there? Is it, why do you see different colors? Do you know where is this? Have you seen an aurora borealis before? So you can ask all these questions to your students, okay, and they can comment, okay? This is another example. This is actually my hometown. This is El Paso. Here, and actually I have used this picture before. That's why I include it. This picture has a lot of discussion because you can start talking about phenomenons, natural phenomenons. And I know on level 5, I believe it is, level 5, level 6, on topic 4, you're talking about nature and also phenomenons. Nature and natural catastrophes, and you're talking all about exploring about nature. So this is a great picture that maybe you can start also to ignite your students' curiosity and start the topic. Okay, this is a brainstorm because you know you're going to be talking about nature. You can maybe present this picture and you can start, because you have the opener, but you're not going to be there with your kids to do the opener, for instance, on language log or with the readings, you're not going to be there. And this is all about compounds. Remember, starting all that critical thinking. So maybe you can start with a picture like this. Why does this picture, why I like this picture, not only because it is from El Paso, but because actually in El Paso, it's a desert. There's no rain. It rains probably maybe for 3 minutes, and that's the longest rain or raining showers that we will have. Okay, so but there's a lot of thunder. They're beautiful, spectacular shows of thunder. There's a lot of thunder, but I think it will be, you can start asking your students, well, if usually there's thunder and then you have a thunderstorm, but then you also have, I'm sorry, like lightning. I'm sorry, there's a lot of lightning. If there's lightning, how come there's no thunder? Or there's thunder, but how come there's there's not a storm? Why do you guys think it only rains a little bit in El Paso? And what happens? And what does it go through? The whole process. So you can, I don't know, you can start just a whole discussion about the picture. Okay, we have the mountains. What happens with the mountains? Why do you think there's a pole in here? And actually, this is actually one of those. This is not a pole. There's a lot of lightning and thunderstorms that stop them. I forgot the name, but there's a lot of them. So maybe this is something that you can start as a discussion. Okay, and this is another picture. Okay, it's also from El Paso. That's the Franklin Mountain, and this is very popular in El Paso. We have because Texas is a Lone Star state, but in El Paso we have the star. So maybe you can ask them, do you know why there's a star? Why do you think there's a star? If Texas is a Lone Star state, but why is that symbol only in El Paso? So I don't know and actually it's a great story, right? It's because of we have a military base, which is Fort Bliss. But you can start a discussion. And again, this is just something personal, and I found a lot of discussion with these pictures, but maybe you have your own pictures, you have your own story, and also maybe your students can share pictures. You can tell your students, hey, you know what, share a picture with me that you would like for us to discuss. And maybe your students can actually give you the questions that they want people to discuss. Well, the rest of the class, their peers, okay? So the student will have to send you the picture. Once he sends you the picture, you will post it and share it with everybody through the drive, okay? All right. So now, another idea, articles, okay? Again, through the drive, as a PDF document, you can share different articles. Compass, it's all about learning, and that's why we have been reading two different genres, fiction and nonfiction, okay? So you can submit articles. Also, I know maybe for first graders, you might tell me, well, this is a little difficult. Maybe it could be a very simple article, or it could be maybe in Spanish, so the parents can read it for the kids. But it's okay, they're sharing in the first language, but they're making a transfer of funds. They can connect the ideas, they get a little background knowledge, and then they can comment about their opinion from the article in the chat. They can send you all the answers through the chat, okay? So this is all about nature. And this one, there's another one here I'm sharing. It says the challenge of education and learning in the developing world, okay? But maybe you want to provide them with reliable information right now about what's happening with coronavirus, okay? So there's also a great variety of articles that you can find and share with them. Remember, our students believe in us. Students believe in what we tell them. There's no one more intelligent and wise in the whole world than a student's teacher, okay? So why not provide them with truly reliable educational facts, okay? And this can also help maybe if you share things about the coronavirus. This can actually, if you send something that it's reliable, this might even help the parents to not panic and have proper information, okay? All right. Okay, the next activity with writing also, let's say teachers can start writing a story or the introduction of a story. This is called write on, all these activities. And on the chat, she can start writing the beginning of the story. Let's say once upon a time, I had 3 friends and my 3 friends went to the park, and then that's it. And then another student adds another sentence. It doesn't have to be very long paragraphs, because also you might have kids that are still learning to write, maybe first, second graders, okay?
But it's just coming up with a story. Let's see what you guys can come up with, okay? Again, it's all about using your imagination, sharing different stories, okay? So the teacher, and whenever the teacher wants to interfere because maybe the students are not adding a little bit more or they're still thinking because they might take some time. So you want to interfere in there and then add on, maybe in the middle of the story, and then maybe at the end also, okay? So this is kind of like a little idea. Also, they can write short stories, okay? And then there's another activity that I really like. It's very cute. I used to do this with my students, kindergarten and first graders. It's called P.S. I Love You. And the idea is for to share a little bit of love and peace here. And it's writing letters. We don't have that habit anymore. And we will, of course, this will be a digital letter, but still, it's a good idea. This is a little note. It says, "Dear Grandma, I like it when you make pie. Your grandson, Carlos, P.S. I love you." So you might tell your students every day on the chat to write a letter, a P.S. I love you letter to one of their friends, to their parents, their grandparents, siblings, a friend, etc. Or maybe even to the teacher. And you as a teacher can send them also little notes. "Dear Jason, I really enjoy reading your story about the Fortnite." I don't know. You know, the kids now are all into the Fortnite. Fortnite, yes. "Thank you so much. You did a great job, Miss Denise." Okay. So this is just another way to make for them to practice, okay? It doesn't have to be a long letter. If you can see, this is very, very small, and it's just for them to start getting that habit as well, okay? And so that they know that writing is not only about writing long paragraphs, but even little notes, it's okay. And again, this could be through the chat, and I will suggest that this is something that they send you individually, not as a whole group, because some of the kids might want to be a little private and might want a little privacy, I'm sorry, and be private about their feelings or what they are writing about or whom they're writing about, okay? So this will be something that I recommend that you do individualize. Okay. Something else, because you're asking right now for reading activities, okay? So look for more books to read, okay? It says look for books and read to me. So in here you can give parents suggestions. You can add a document, a PDF document or a Word document. You drop it here, you share it, okay? And give them suggestions of books that they can read to their kids at home. Right now it's important that they read to them, okay? So it doesn't have to be very long books. You can look for different books and then sharing them 4 or 5 books that they have access online. There's a lot of web pages that we have now, and they can read to them, okay? And it could be a group list or also a personalized or individualized list. You might have those students again. You might be a teacher, a third grade teacher, but you might have students that read at different levels, okay? So this is up to you. Maybe you want to give them, again, a list as a whole, or maybe individualized, okay? The classics, it's important that they know the classics. Huckleberry Finn, Charlotte's Web, etc. And even for the, I forgot, oh my God, I was thinking about Little Red Riding Hood, Goldilocks. Those were the first graders and second graders, okay? So you can share classics, okay? And these, usually the classics are very easy to find, okay? So just tell the parents, please, please help us read a book to your child, okay? And then always you can upload this, or maybe you find the PDF document also. They're very easy to find. You find the PDF from Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and then you can upload it here and the parents can read it to their kids, okay? This is just to practice listening, okay? I know you might tell me, well, the parents don't really speak English, but they can try the best, and if the students are trying to read, that's okay as well, okay? Or even you can maybe schedule a little session so you can read to them, okay? In here, I know some of you have My Own, a lot of our Compass users, and if you don't have My Own, this is a great opportunity to present you. This is pretty much a digital library. It's great because you have over 6,000 titles that you can access. You have books in English and Spanish, and you have books from all the way to kindergarten to 12th grade, which will be high school, okay? So Mayan, some of you guys, a lot of my schools here in Mexico City have Mayan. So this is another great opportunity to connect Mayan with Compass. Right now, there was a webinar before I started. It was from, I believe, from 10 to 11. Jacqueline Arguello was the one that conducted the webinar, and she showed you how to create projects on Mayan. Okay, so if you didn't see the webinar, you will have a link where you can access, and I'll show you the link right now. And so you can, there's a library of the webinars that we are doing right now, so that you can actually even so that you can see what she did with Mayan. Okay. Yes, this is separately because somebody's asking me if this is another product. Yes, this is another product that we have, but I want to include it. It's not connected to Compass, but you can connect it. And I wanted to include it because a lot of our Compass users have Mayan, the Mayan platform. And I'm also reading here telling me that if you can assign homework through reading, and if it's not interactive, what is it that you can do? Okay, I'll show you right now. And actually I was gonna go into that, so just give me a moment. I'm gonna show you through the platform. And we're almost done, guys. We're almost there. Okay. So reading, okay. Remember reading, you have the book, but it is not interactive. At least the portion where you answer the reading comprehension questions, okay. So this part, okay, this part is not interactive, so you cannot respond or answer anything in there, but a suggestion of homework that you can assign through for reading. Let me show you what I would do as a teacher, what I would do with the platform, okay? So let me close this one, the hyperlink, the arrow right here. Okay, so I will go to assign homework. Okay, I will select reading. Okay, and then I have, let's say it's topic 7. And I will tell my students, okay, for them to read the fiction section. So it will be maybe all the fiction section. This is up to you, or maybe only the first 2 pages. I have right here at the foot of the page. It's 126, 127. And let's say I only want them to read 4 pages, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so I want them to read 4 pages. Again, this is up to you. And it's going to be from the fiction section, okay? And a great feature in here is that the students can play the audio. And it has a karaoke mode, meaning that the words highlight, or the audio highlights the reading as it goes through, okay? So once that happens, you also have here your keywords, and a good way to use the platform, they can select the keyword and it will appear the definition and the pronunciation of the word. And also the flashcard. The flashcard will appear for starter, level 1, 2, and 3. So what I will assign as a homework, and remember they can also use the tools, so they can highlight. Maybe they want to write. It's a little messy if they want to write something. I don't know. Okay, it's a little bit messy, and they can erase it as well. Okay, so you select it. Title, I'm gonna label this homework 12, topic 7, okay? And then description will be, please read pages 126, 127, and 128. Highlight
highlight the key vocabulary words and highlight the key vocabulary words and press, click on the word to listen to the pronunciation. There you go. And to listen to pronunciation and write the definition in your notebook. Okay. Okay. Or you only want read from the fiction section. Okay. Right. So this is an idea, or what I suggest you to do with the reading log. Also, you put the due date. Okay, and then you assign the homework. Okay. Of course, you might, it's just a definition. You might not be able to revise yet the definition, but it's not something that you have to revise right now. Right? It's not like a big grade. This is something, again, this is just a suggestion. Of course, you guys know your school's criteria for grading, and this is up to you to adapt it. But they can still practice on the reading book. They can listen to the audio. That's like an audiobook, okay? So they can read it, they can listen to it, etc. Okay, or you might want to ask them here questions, okay? It will be highlighted definition, and then they can also answer the following questions. Send your responses, responses to the chat. And in here, you can ask, I don't know, what was the story about? Okay. You can ask them just a few questions, 2-3 questions. It doesn't have to be a lot, but this will be for you to assess reading comprehension and ensure that your students read the story. The main character, I'm sorry, what was the main character name? I don't know. Character's name. Okay, so this is just a suggestion that you can do with your students, okay? And then you assign it. Okay, all right, we're almost done. And actually, if you have any questions. Okay, thank you. I see you're telling me that it's a great platform, that you like it. About the block, yes, again, you will get more details about the block. It's going to be on Thursday, the session, okay? So don't forget to sign in and enjoy all our webinars, okay? So I'm gonna provide you, this is my information. Feel free to contact me if you want a little bit more information about this webinar, if you have any further questions. So you can contact us. This is my email, abolanose@richmonddlt.com. And also you can contact us through the marketing Richmond Dell page, okay? These are the channels, what I was telling you, where you can see all the webinars that we're actually doing right now. If you missed the recording, you can watch it again, or if you have teachers that missed the webinar, if you have any friends or colleagues that missed it and you liked it and you want them to see it as well,
go to these channels, go to these websites, and they can play the video. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoy this webinar, and I'll see you very, very soon. Have a good one.